Good morning, guys. Welcome to my channel once again. Today is Sunday, the 30th day of March in the year 2025, and as always, I have some well analyzed matches for you. So, guys, without much waste of time, let's get started. The first match, as you can see here, is from the Spain La Liga. It's a game involving Real Betis and Sevilla. My prediction for this match is Betis to win or draw at 1.24 odds. So Betis has been very consistent. They're in a very good form right now. We've seen how they've been playing wherever they play at home. They're very solid at home. So against Sevilla, we expect them to do well. We expect them to win this match or at least get a draw at 1.24 odds. So looking at their data here, we can see that Betis are on the 5th position, while Sevilla are on the 11th position. And then when we look at the head-to-head between these two teams, we can see that Sevilla has won two times. Other fixtures ended in a draw. And then we look at their standings on the table here. We can see that Real Betis are on the 5th position, while Sevilla are on the 11th position. Now, when we look at the home and away record for these two teams, you can see that. Okay, now let's start the Real Betis home record. So looking at their home record here, we can see that their last six home matches, Real Betis has won three times, drew two times, and lost just once. In fact, if you want to look at their performance in La Liga, we can see that their last six home matches, they've won three times, drew two times, and lost once. And then we look at Sevilla away from home, we can see that their last five away matches, Sevilla has won three times, drew two times, and lost once. So this match we give the advantage to Real Betis. And when we look at their standings on the table here, we can see that Real Betis are on the 5th position. So what this means is that they're in the top five, okay? So they want to do everything possible to make sure they hold on to this top five because if they lose today, they'll drop down the table. So Real Betis want to do everything possible to make sure they stay in the top five. And that's why my prediction here is Real Betis to win or draw at 1.24 odds. Next, we have a match from the German Bundesliga. It's a game involving Freiburg and Union Berlin. My prediction for this match is Freiburg to win or draw at 1.27 odds. So, Freiburg is another team that has been very consistent, especially when they play at home. They have quality players and they have a very good squad. We expect them to win this encounter or at least get a draw at 1.27 odds. Now, looking at their data here, we can see that Freiburg are on the 7th position, while Union Berlin are on the 14th position. And then we look at the head to head between these two teams. We can see here that Union Berlin has won three times, Freiburg has won once, other fixtures ended in a draw. So looking at their standings on the table here, we can see that Freiburg are on the 7th position, while Union Berlin are on the 14th position. And then we look at their home and away record, we can see that Freiburg in their last six home matches, they've won four times, drew once, and then lost once. That loss was against Bayern Munich. And then we look at Union Berlin away from home. You see that Union Berlin are in a very terrible form away from home. Their last six away matches shows Union Berlin has lost four times and won just two times. And now let's take a look at their standings on the table. Now, when you look at the standings on the table here, we can see that Freiburg are on the 7th position. Okay, so they want to do everything possible to make sure they get points that would take them to the top five. Because initially Freiburg was they were in the top five. Okay, so they want to do everything possible to make sure they go back to the top five. So that's why my prediction here is Freiburg to win or draw. Freiburg has the quality, they have the players, they have everything, and they'll be playing at home. So they have everything it takes to win this match or at least get a draw at 1.27 odds. Next, we have a match from the Italy Serie A. It's a game involving Inter Milan and Udinese. My prediction for this match is Inter Milan to win or draw no base at 1.14 odds. So here Inter Milan has the advantage and they should be able to beat Udinese or at least draw no base at 1.14 odds. Looking at the data here, we can see that Inter Milan. Looking at the data here, we can see that Inter Milan are on the first position on the table, while Udinese are on the 10th position. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams. We can see that Inter Milan has won. Inter Milan has won four times. Udinese once. Oh, sorry. Inter Milan has won five times. Udinese has won just once. And then when you look at the standings on the table here, we can see that Inter Milan are on the first position with 64 points, while Udinese are 10th with 40 points. And then looking at their home and away record, we can see that Inter Milan has been very consistent at home. Their last six home matches shows Inter Milan has won five times and drew once. And then when we look at Udinese away from home, we can see that their last six away matches, Udinese has won two times, drew three times, and lost once. So this match, Inter Milan has the advantage. And when we look at their standings on the table here, we can see that Inter are on the first position with 64 points. Napoli are second with 61 points. So what this means is that if Inter Milan loses this match and Napoli wins, Napoli automatically goes to the first position. So Inter Milan want to do everything possible to make sure they maintain their lead on the table. And so that's why my prediction here is Inter Milan to win or draw no bit at 1.14 odds. Next, we have a match from the Croatia HNL League. It's a game involving Hajduk Split and Sibenik. My prediction for this match is Hajduk Split to win at full time at 1.28 odds. So let's quickly take a look at the data for this match. So looking at their data here, we can see that Hajduk Split are second on the table, while Sibenik are 10th on the table. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams, you can see that Hajduk Split has won almost every time they have played Sibenik. Okay, so now when we look at the standings on the table here, we can see that Hajduk Split are second on the table with 48 points, while Sibenik are 10th at the bottom of the table with 22 points. And then we look at their home and away record, we can see that Hajduk Split, their last six home matches, they've won four times and drew two times. And then when you look at Sibenik away from home, you can see that Sibenik are in a very terrible shape right now. The last six away matches show Sibenik has drawn three times and lost three times. And now when we look at their standings on the table here, we can see that Hajduk Split are just second behind Rijeka with 2 points difference. So what this means is that if they win today's match, they're going to go they're going to go to the top of the table. So they want to do everything possible because I'm sure they would like to be on the top of the table. So I'm sure they want to do everything possible to make sure they win this one so they can go to the top of the table. And that's why my prediction here is Hajduk Split to win at full time at 1.28 odds. Considering the fact that Sibenik has been in a very poor form and on the bottom of the table, Hajduk Split has a chance here and they want to make everything possible to make sure they go top of the table. Finally, for today, we have this match from the Italy Serie A. It's a game involving Cagliari and Monza. My prediction for this match is Cagliari to win or draw no bit at 1.27 odds. So here I give Cagliari the advantage. We expect them to do well against Monza. They're fighting relegation right now, and they want to make sure they get important points today that will help them survive this relegation battle. So let's take a look at the data for this match. So looking at their data here, we can see that Cagliari are 15th on the table while Monza are 20th. Monza are 20th on the table. And then we look at the head-to-head between these two teams, we can see that Cagliari has won once, Monza once. The other fixture ended in a draw. Now, when we look at their standings on the table here, we can see that Cagliari are 15th, Monza are 20 at the bottom of the table. And the point difference between Cagliari and the relegation zone is just, I think, 1 point, 1 or 2 points. Okay. While Monza are already on the bottom of the table. Now, looking at their home and away record, we can see that Cagliari in their last six home matches, they've won two times, lost three times, and drew once. And when you look at the losses, Cagliari's losses, you can see that they lost against top teams. So you can see here that they lost to Juventus, they lost to Lazio, and they lost to Inter Milan. So those are very strong teams. And then looking at Monza's away record, you can see that these guys are in a very terrible shape right now. Their last six away matches, Monza has lost all six, as you can see. So now let's go back to their standings on the table. Now, so Cagliari are on the 15th position, while Monza are 15th. Monza are at the bottom, and there's no hope of survival. Okay, with just 15 points and minus 25 goal difference, there's no point of survival coming out of relegation right now. But Cagliari has a chance of survival, and if they can get at least 1 point or three in this match, it will help them survive. It will help them stay in this division instead of dropping down to the relegation. So Cagliari are the ones that need this match, and they should be able to do everything possible to make sure they win this one, or at least draw no bet at 1.27 odds. So guys, these are all the matches I have for you today with a total of 2.89 odds. Always remember to bet responsibly, guys. Football can be very funny. Even with the best analysis, anything can still happen. So make sure you bet responsibly. And do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Also remember to join our Telegram channel. The link is pinned to the comment section of this video. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.